We learned yesterday about the obligation that we have to check the food that we eat to make sure that there is no bugs in the food. You don't have to check it with a microscope or with magnifying glass, but you have to have a healthy vision and to look into the food that you eat to make sure that there's no worms, gnats, ants, or anything crawling in there. Now it says today, in the Halacha today, it speaks about fruits and vegetables that are more likely to have worms. So it says, Asur le'echol, we're not allowed to eat pirot v'yerakot, fruits and vegetables, shematzui b'hem tolaim. It's common that they have worms before checking them. So if you know that there's a good chance that they have worms, you should not eat them before checking them. Pirot v'yerakot sheyesh b'hem nekev, or if you see a fruit that has a hole in it. Usually it does not have worms, but you notice that there is a hole. Or the same thing about a vegetable. Yesh lavot kamitev, he has to check them thoroughly because of the concern that maybe there is worms that were going around the fruit and then they went back in it. So that's one thing. The second one is fruits and vegetables that they have a dark stain or black stain. We have to remove the stain going deep into the fruit before eating it. Why? Because that is the spot where the worm starts to forge. So, and the third part of the halacha is fruits and vegetables that are usually have worms, and by mistake somebody cooked them without checking them. If it's the minority of the dish, meaning there's other things in the dish, let's say you made soup, chicken soup, and you also put, let's say you put celery, and you needed to check the celery, you didn't check the celery. So it says, mutar lo'chlam, you're allowed to eat it, because this dish has a doubt whether there was worms or not. And we also have a doubt, as we learned yesterday, that if you have a worm that was meshed, it's not a complete worm, there's also a leniency. Obviously you have to take it out if you can see it, but if it was only a part of it, it's less stringent at having the whole thing. So then it's going to be mutar le'ochlam, you're allowed to eat this dish because of the doubt. Aval, in pirot, if these fruits and vegetables are commonly, very common, strongly, you see it all the time that they possess worms, then you're not allowed to eat the dish that it was mixed in.
And even if it's times 60? Like the 60 times?
No, that's that 60 times the amount is a case. In our case that we discussed, it's when it's a minority. It's not a big part of the dish that was infested with worms. But if it has for sure worms, then you cannot eat it. It's like saying I'm going to put a worm into the food and it's going to be nullified. Only nullified when by mistake something was placed into the dish. But over here, the person was negligent. He puts food that is commonly, it usually has worms, so most likely it had worms, and you put it into the dish. Therefore, if it's a small amount, it will be mutar, permissible. If it's a big amount, then it's going to be a problem.
Lettuce salad, Caesar salad, and this worm in the lettuce. And it's a small piece, one baby.
Yeah, the thing is you don't know if it's just one. If you wash the lettuce and then by mistake you found one, okay, so you take it out. It's not a problem. But if you didn't wash the lettuce and it's known that the lettuce have worms, or maybe the type of lettuce that you bought, then it's a problem. It could be a problem. That's why a lot of people think they go to a restaurant, they say, oh, we're just ordering salad. But they don't check the salad. and we or juice places, it's just what? It's just natural. They are only juicing some veggies, but these veggies were not checked.
Right. Like raw juice.
Maybe they were washed,
You're gonna
but you don't know if you didn't wash it thoroughly. Then maybe there's bugs in there.
They don't make it easy.
That's the halacha.